Today we're going to talk about starting small business inventory. Maybe you have an Etsy shop, maybe you are a small distributor, you make a couple things, manufacturing of some sort, doesn't matter. Whatever you started, you probably didn't have inventory control or processes in mind, so let's discuss that. Okay, so the main things that you need to be thinking about for your small business, even as you're starting out, is where you're going to keep this stuff, how you're going to use it, and we'll get to that in a minute, how you're going to track it, and how you're going to account for it. And those all sound like the same thing, but they're a little different, trust me. So first, where are you going to keep it? Well, for a lot of folks, that's probably somewhere in their house, their basement, a garage, the in-laws, whatever. But what you need to have is a system in place of aisle, row, shelf, bin. Even if you only have, let's say, one little shelf dedicated at the time, or one little corner in a room, have it in mind so that as you are building up your inventory, as you expand, you have your aisle, which could just be a cheap shelf that you bought. You have the row where your item will be located. Part of the shelf that you put that item, 1, 2, 3, it could just be one. And then bin, literally you could buy these cheap plastic bins at Amazon, Walmart, wherever, and that's where you're going to keep your stuff. Or it even could just be a cardboard box for the time being that your products are put in. The most important part of some of this is having labels. Label that bin, label that shelf, aisle, etc. Even starting small so that as you grow, your process grows with you. How are you going to track this stuff? Starting out, a lot of people just do a little chicken scratch on a piece of paper, whiteboard, whatever. Even a spreadsheet is better than nothing, but I still recommend, if people can, using some kind of system that will continue to grow with them and has all their information in hand, even if it's a type of phone app, so that you're not trying to now scale up as you grow into a new system while you're also trying to juggle your business. How are you going to use your products? And what I mean by that is if you are doing some type of kitting or assembly or any manufacturing, let's say you're making soap, you have products that you're bringing in and you're creating a new product that your customers are purchasing and you're shipping out. You need to keep track of how you use that stuff, whether it's the amount of goods that go into your product or even the packaging that you have to purchase. Keep track of all that use and account for it so that you're not confused as to where expenditures are going or how come you only have a certain level of product. Make sure you know what you use. And finally, leading into use, you have account. You have to account for stuff, but what we mean by this is tracking all of these items so that you can properly put it into your finances. This is one of the biggest headaches that a lot of small businesses deal with starting out, is managing all of these little pieces, feeling like, I don't need to worry about that right now. But if you can start worrying about it right now, you'll be able to grow again with this process as your business grows. And the most important part of accounting is the accounting, literally the finances. I mean, this is what's going to affect how much taxes you're paying, how much you can pay yourself, depending on how your company's structured, etc. All this stuff matters so that you can have a successful business. Even though you went into it for maybe, a product or a pursuit that you love, all these little pieces and processes will make for a more successful business as you grow. So we've discussed all this stuff. What is the best way you can get going on this? I'm going to recommend software, I know, but it's so that you can have your process and system in place as soon as possible so that as you continue on, it can grow with you and that you can have best practices in place from the get-go. If you need something cheap, I would start with something like a box store. Check it out in the link below. And as you grow, that can trade right into a Fishbowl or another type of inventory software. But the sooner you get going on something like this, the better your business is going to do long term. I'm James, this is Whiteboard Wednesday.